Hello, Dallas. This is Anu from ToppickMedia. Thank you so much for joining. Today we are here in Plano at the meeting of Citizenship workshop that's conducted by MCOR, that is a multicultural orientation roundtable, which gives every year a great information about the citizenship, how you can be a citizen, and also if suppose your files are held up, like, so many attorneys are here, immigration attorneys are here to help you out with the information that you need. So this is basically a great workshop for people who are either in the process of citizenship or if you have any issues, if it is in the middle of it. So today in the workshop, we have great attorneys as a keynote speakers, and I'm going to introduce many of them that you can also reach out to them later or MCOR website to get more information. So let me introduce today's keynote speaker, Mr. Taurine, and he really gave great information about, some of his topics, that how he faced the issues, and he became citizen in 1994. So let me welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me, your experience about the this immigration process and the citizenship. So what was the most difficult part that you faced in this process?
Well, I like many immigrants to the United States, I came in as a student visa, and upon graduation, I went back to Nigeria for some time and came back. Before I went to Nigeria, I was a permanent resident, and my wife and I, my wife, who is an American citizen, actually was my immigration lawyer at the same time. So we tried to move back to Nigeria, and ended up coming back. And as soon as I got back, I was qualified to become a U.S. citizen, since and I did not waste any time in doing that. So it's really been awesome being a U.S. citizen, because it gave access to a lot of great opportunities. Prior to becoming a U.S. citizen, I had a job where sometimes I would end up being unable to serve because it was reserved for U.S. citizen. So because I work for a multinational company, and so becoming a U.S. citizen kind of took that issue away, where I was not encumbered by anything. And when I also started my own business, I was able to do the same. And doing business with like the Air Force or the U.S. Army, I could always get access to. I was not encumbered in any way because I was not a U.S. citizen. So it's been really, really positive experience becoming a U.S. citizen. And since 1994, we're right here.
Well, congratulations, and I'm really happy to hear that you're enjoying the citizenship. So it's really valuable sharing your experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hearing from an expert, that definitely gives you more confidence, as well as you probably will get the very perfect answers. So let me introduce immigration lawyer Ann Badmus, and she is one of our keynote speaker as well for MCOR's workshop today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm very happy to be here. I have been involved with the MCOR workshop since the beginning, and given a presentation consistently every year, which I think has been helpful to people who've attended. Just to introduce myself a little more, I'm Ann Massey Badmus, and I'm an immigration attorney. I've been an immigration attorney for over 25 years, and I've helped with lots of applicants for different immigration benefits, including citizenship. And what I think is really great about the MCOR workshop is that we talk about how to get the right legal help, because it is a legal process. It can be more complicated than we sometimes think it can be. And so having the access to the attorneys here, as well as the keynote speakers who talk about that process, I think is very helpful to the attendees. And then I also talk a little bit about some of the procedure of applying for citizenship, which includes the FBI background check, because for every, the government wants to be sure that the right people are becoming citizens. And so the background check is very, very critical to that. So I talk about what's involved with that. And then there are a lot of other great speakers as well. So, definitely come out.
Let me interrupt and ask you, I know that, the currently, we are facing so many different issues. It's not just that simple as we see it. So what do you think the most critical one that a lot of people, like a majority of the, the applicants are facing at this point?
Well, it may not, what we really have been facing in the past couple of years is just a long, long process. I think statistically, the waiting period, there's been the study just recently done that it's about 41% longer than it has been in the past, and that includes citizenship. So in the past, we could get citizenship in 6 months. Now it's at least 12 to sometimes even longer than that, to 18 months. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges that people are seeing, and clients are a little upset. Why is it taking so long? That kind of thing. But yes, it's
Hopefully, we will come to resolve that one pretty soon, and I'm very sure that people will, put their best effort to complete all the procedures that's required. Well, thank you so much for all the information.
Sure.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. We have another very well-known immigration lawyer here, Kimberly Kinzer, and I'm sure that you have heard her voice over the radio so many times, answering your questions as well. So let us ask her about today's situation and what's going on, as well as what is the one most difficult thing that every person who applied for citizenship is facing at this point.
I would say it's basically long delays. The current administration, I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but the current administration put a freeze on hiring new people when they came in January of 2017. That lasted until October of 2017. And so that created a tremendous backlog. Most people are waiting a minimum of 12 months to get interviewed. Many people longer than that, 12 to 15 months on average in the Dallas area. But those are some current things that I'm seeing that are challenging for people because they would like for it to happen sooner.
So regarding the, the child citizenship, I'm sure that, that is one of your specialty too. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Well, children can acquire citizenship through their parents, or whether they're born here. There is nothing that's been passed. So there's been a lot of talk in the media about things that have been passed to take away citizenship of children who are born in the United States. That has not actually happened. The Congress would have to act on that, and the president would have to sign it. President Trump is the only one that I know of who's talked about that, not the Congress. And so you have to understand the process. The legislative process is that all bills start in Congress and then go to the president. So you can't really change a long-standing law like that, especially something that's in our Constitution, without an amendment to the Constitution, which takes a lot of hurdles there to get to that. And then also people acquire citizenship through their parents when their parents become citizens and they're still under the age of 18. They can do one of two things. They can either file an application for a certificate of citizenship, which is an N-600, so that they actually get a certificate like their parents do get a certificate of naturalization, or their parents can go straight to the Department of State and file for them to get a U.S. passport.
Wonderful. So there is no such thing as expediting any process, because I think it is going to take, and there will be delays. So all the people who are expecting, must understand. So this is definitely.
This is the normal process, and there's no premium processing for this. I know people love premium processing, but we don't have it right now for a lot of cases, including a lot of H-1B cases, which is where people get familiar with that process most often. But there's no expediting of citizenship. You do have to wait the 12 to 15 months.
Well, thank you, Kimberly. That was a very valuable information. Thanks for sharing, and we'll be definitely in touch with you if you have any questions. Really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining, and today's workshop would not have been possible without this event chair and a key person here that's standing right next to me, Shaheen Salam. So she has been doing it from 12 years meticulously with the great effort, and this is one of the best workshops that every every member that get a benefit from, whether it's regarding a questions of a citizenship or how to get the information from an immigration lawyer or any of the child-related issues that, concerning the immigration. So thank you so much for joining. It's really great to have you. So tell us, how does it feel to work such an awesome process that giving the community service like this?
First of all, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for coming here.
Absolutely.
Anyways, my name is Shaheen Salam, and I am a co-chair of Multicultural Outreach Roundtable, which is an advisory board to the City Council of Plano and the mayor. And also, I'm chair of the Citizenship Workshop. We have been doing this for the past 12 years, every year, same time, second week of February. It is so rewarding because I myself was an immigrant and then became a citizen, and I know what it feels like after becoming a citizen and the benefits that we enjoy as citizens. So we wanted to bring this workshop to the community because in Plano we have quite a large number of immigrants living here, and for some reason they are overwhelmed by the whole process of applying to become citizens. There are inhibitions, misconceptions. So in this workshop, we try to clear up all those. We have great panel of attorneys who do who come here, do presentations and talk on a one-to-one basis, all pro bono. They do not charge a single penny. And we do not charge a single penny from the attendees also. We have great sponsors who provide us with food like Crescent Moon, Jimmy Burger, Mumtaz. I mean, all the food that is free of charge. So, I mean, we put this together. It takes a lot of effort. I know it. Every year I think, oh my God, so much effort is going to go into it again. But my co-chairs and myself, all three of us, just bring it into existence. And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding because so many of the attendees who come here, they end up becoming citizens. They're not inhibited by the process anymore. And we also have an oath-taking ceremony in the Plano International Festival, which is also part of MCOR. So it's a continuing process. So it's really, really rewarding. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and it's great to be part of all those processes all these years. And it is really, gives a lot of pleasure and looking at those diversified cultural communities coming and performing at the same time show their, their love about like how much fun to share their talent with everybody in the community. Thank you so much.
And I would also like to thank ToppickMedia for covering this workshop. They've been doing this for the past 2-3 years, I think. Yes. And it's great to have some kind of media coverage also, because we never used to have that before. And then people become aware that this workshop does take place every year. Thank you.
Folks, this is a great opportunity for us to talk to one of the, the officer who is here to represent the USCIS and, about the citizenship questions that you may all have at the MCOR workshop. And we just heard her in detail giving all the information about what do's and don'ts. And let me introduce Jennifer Conlin. Thank you so much for joining, and it's a pleasure having you here. So with the government shutdown, we faced so many issues with the, whoever is going through the processes. So tell us briefly, what exactly is going on?
Well, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, as you are, I'm sure, well aware, we charge fees for all of our petitions and applications. So because we're fee funded, we were not shut down during the recent furlough. We were at work that whole time. So we were still, adjudicating and making decisions on all your applications and petitions that you have paid for to get you the decisions that you deserve.
Many immigration lawyers just one thing that I actually every time when I ask, one of the critical thing that what they're going through is they said that the delay in the process. So what do you say about that?
Well, we are working as diligently as we can, getting all our officers trained, doing some more hiring in some cases. We go through, peaks and valleys. Sometimes our processing times are faster, sometimes they're slower. We just ask people to have patience with us, and we will get you the decision as quickly as we can.
What is the best thing to do that without getting your application sent back to you for more corrections? Like what they need to be watching out for?
Some of the biggest things that why we reject applications are they're not signed. So make sure that if it's something you're submitting on your own behalf, you sign it. Or if you're submitting something for another person, like you're a spouse filing for you're a U.S. citizen filing for your spouse, you need to sign that petition. We reject things a lot for incorrect signature. Also make sure the fee is correct. And we actually just came out with a fee calculator on our website, uscis.gov. So if you have any questions about the fee, you can go to that fee calculator, use the drop down to select the form that you're filing, and it will tell you what the fee is that you owe. So those are some of the biggest reasons for rejection. So if a couple of those things are corrected, then hopefully that will reduce some of our rejection rates.
That's a great information, and especially right now that recently we did hear about the scams that is going on, especially for students who are getting their OPT extended for some reason. So is there things that these things can be avoided?
Unfortunately, there are a lot of scams. There are a lot of people out there, trying to make money off vulnerable people, off, people who want to believe that they can get something maybe that they're not entitled to. So just if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So please don't fall prey to those scams. Our website, uscis.gov, is a great source of information. If you want to speak to a live person, you can call our customer contact center. We have a lot of resources out there on the internet. I have a lot of brochures here at the Outreach Roundtable today. So just please make sure to do your research, do your homework, and not believe anything that sounds better than it, like a better deal than you might get elsewhere.
Too good to be true.
Exactly.
Okay. Also, that for anybody who is looking for information, so is there a specific center, they can talk to a live person or anybody here in Texas or Plano or any other cities here they can approach?
Like I said, our website's a really good source of information, uscis.gov. Here at the Roundtable, there are a lot of attorneys who have been invited here. Also, the Department of Justice Office of Legal Access Programs has a recognition and accreditation program. So they will recognize organizations that can provide legal help and accredit representatives. So, if you're getting your taxes done and that person claims that they can give you immigration advice as well, make sure that you ask either that they're a licensed attorney or that they are an accredited representative. And that list of accredited representatives is on the Department of Justice website, and they are supposed to offer services at a reasonable fee. So it's not someone who's going to be out to take advantage of people and request a lot of money for their services.
As a matter of fact, MCOR offers that service during these workshops as well, because there are so many immigration lawyers that they can give their information, and some of them are free as well for people who are actually looking for discounted or anything that they cannot afford. So, which is really great. And so, for a fresh application, so what is your advice?
I'm sorry.
Citizenship, the fresh, for example, that if they want to apply new applicants, what is your advice?
Well, we have a lot of eligibility requirements. The instructions to our forms are actually really good source of information. Again, our website, uscis.gov/citizenship, has all the citizenship information. But for people who want to apply, they have to be at least 18. If they live in Dallas, they have to have lived in this area for 3 months. They have to be of good moral character, so no arrests or criminal convictions during the period that they need to have been a resident. Generally, they'll need to have had a green card or be a permanent resident for at least 5 years, and they have to be willing to take an oath to the United States, an oath of allegiance or loyalty.
Well, thank you so much for such a valuable information. It's really great having you here, and thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it.